Imagine this. A police officer pulls over a suspicious car on a dark, quiet street. They need to know right now if the driver is dangerous. But when they try to check the system, the computer freezes. It's spinning, loading, and taking forever because it's running on technology from the 1970s. Sounds like a movie, right? Well, until recently, this was a massive problem for real police officers. But right now, a huge, secret tech upgrade is happening behind the scenes, and it is changing everything about how crime is fought. Welcome back to the channel. The UK government and the police have officially teamed up to build a brand new, super-fast computer network. Now, I know what you might be thinking, a new computer system? That sounds a bit boring. But trust me, it's not. This isn't just about getting newer laptops for people in offices. This is about completely replacing a slow, clunky, and outdated system that the police have used for decades. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what this new technology is, why the old way of doing things was holding the police back, and most importantly, how this new change is going to make your neighborhood a lot safer. If you want to keep up with how technology is changing our everyday world, make sure to hit that subscribe button. To understand why this new tech is such a big deal, we first need to look at what the police were dealing with before. For over 40 years, police departments relied on a massive database to store all their information. Think of things like fingerprints, car license plates, and criminal records. When it was first built, it was amazing. But as time went on, the world changed, and this system didn't really keep up. Imagine you have a smartphone from 15 years ago. It might still turn on, and you might be able to make a phone call, but you definitely couldn't run modern apps, play high-tech games, or stream videos on it. It would just crash. That's basically what the police were dealing with. On top of being old, the biggest issue was that different police departments couldn't talk to each other easily. Let's use a simple example. Imagine you are doing a big school project with 5 of your friends, but everyone is writing their notes in a different secret code, on different types of paper, and hiding them in different rooms. If you need to find one specific sentence your friend wrote, you have to walk to their house, ask for the key to their room, find the paper, and then translate the code. That is exactly how police data used to work. Finding information was like looking for a specific book in a giant, messy room where the lights don't work. If a police officer in one city caught a thief, an officer in a different city next door might have no idea that the exact same person had committed a crime in their area just an hour earlier. Because the systems didn't talk to each other quickly, catching criminals took a lot longer than it should have. So, what did they do to fix this? The government and the police got together and built something called an API-led data platform. Now, those are big, fancy tech words, but the idea behind them is actually really simple. An API is basically a bridge that allows 2 different computer programs to talk to each other instantly. You actually use APIs every single day without even knowing it. Example, think about when you use a weather app on your phone. Your phone doesn't have a giant weather satellite floating in space above your house. Instead, the app uses an API to instantly ask a weather station for the information, and then it shows it on your screen in a split second. The police have built exactly that, but for safety data. Instead of having 20 different messy databases that don't talk to each other, they now have one central system that connects everything. It works just like a modern smartphone app. If an officer on the street needs to check a piece of information, they don't have to call an office, fill out a bunch of paperwork, and wait for hours. They just tap a few buttons on their mobile screen, and the system instantly pulls the data from everywhere it needs to, delivering it in seconds. It completely removes the messy paperwork and brings police communications straight into the modern world. Now that we know how it works, let's talk about why this is a game changer for fighting crime. In police work, seconds matter. The faster an officer gets information, the faster they can make the right decision. Let's go back to our example of the officer pulling over a car at night. With the old system, the officer might have to wait on the radio for 5 or 10 minutes just to find out who owns the car. That is a long time to wait on the side of a road, and it can be dangerous. With the new system, the officer can scan a license plate, and the computer instantly tells them everything they need to know. If the car is stolen, they know it immediately. If the driver is missing person, they know it immediately. This also helps different police forces work together like one big team. If a group of criminals is moving across the country trying to break into shops, they can't hide behind communication gaps anymore. The moment they do something wrong in one town, the police in the next town are alerted instantly. The map is connected, the data is shared, and the police can stop crimes before they get worse. So, how does this actually affect you and your family in your everyday life? Well, the biggest benefit is safer neighborhoods. When police officers are trapped behind a desk filling out endless forms and waiting for slow computers to load, they aren't out on the streets. This new tech cuts down on a massive amount of boring paperwork. Because the computers are doing the heavy lifting quickly, officers can spend less time looking at office screens and more time out in the community where they are needed most. It also means crimes get solved a lot faster. When detectives have all the clues and data handed to them instantly on one screen, they can connect the dots much quicker than they ever could before. Ultimately, it means that the people who are paid to protect us finally have the modern tools they need to do their jobs properly. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.